Okay, folks, welcome to another Friday Waffle. I hope you're all good. Hope you're all warmed up. Yeah, it's turned. I don't know why I'm not even surprised. I mean, we're about 2 weeks away from Christmas Day, and we're complaining about how cold the weather is. Of course it is. I mean, it's the UK. I live in Scotland, for God's sake. I mean, summer is literally a Tuesday in July, and every other day is winter. But you know what? I've been on this planet now for 55 years, and I don't think I'm ever going to get used to the cold. I mean, I might be used to it, but I certainly don't. I don't enjoy the cold, and that is one single thing that I really dislike about living in the UK is the weather, and the fact it's dark for half the year. I'm not a darkness person. I think when you've got dogs and you've got to take them out for walks and what have you, you just it's not enjoyable. It's not enjoyable. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind a nice kind of chilly Saturday morning walk with the dogs where you've got your hat and your scarf and your big jacket on, but taking them out at night time and it's pissing with rain and it's cold, and then they come in and then they shake themselves and the water goes on the walls and your floor's manky. Anyway, you can probably tell I've still got the remnants of a cold. Last weekend, Friday, I started to feel a wee bit kind of dicky, and then as the weekend wore on, I was getting worse and worse and worse, and I was probably my worse on the Sunday, just feeling really shitty. It was a cold. It was nothing more than a cold, but I was that horrible, hot, cold way, and then you go to your bed, and then you wake up in the middle of the night, and your blanket's soaking wet with sweat, even though you're cold. What's that all about? Don't know. So yeah, that's it. I'm feeling a lot better now. Still got a slight cough. Now I have got really very little to talk about today. I'm just going to moan because that's what I'm good at. I'm actually going to blame you lot because I do ask on a regular basis for questions, for topics. And I have to say, compared to some channels, I mean, Del Boy, he gets oodles and oodles of questions. I get very few. Now I'm going to put this out here. Unless I start to get more questions, and I keep seeing that over and over and over again, and I'm not getting away at you. Trust me, I'm not giving you a row. But it doesn't have to be a specific question. It doesn't have to be what's your favourite arcade game or whatever. It could just be what is your thoughts on remakes of classic films? What's your thoughts on different sports? Anything. It doesn't have to be video game related. I mean, I think it's fair to say that my Friday Waffle has... it's had less and less to do with video games over the last probably 4 years, because I really have absolutely got to the bottom of the barrel. There is nothing left to talk about, and and unless you guys start giving me stuff to talk about, I am going to have to reluctantly cut back in the waffle and do it when I've got stuff to talk about or when I can be asked. I was messaging Panther yesterday, and I was just saying to him, and I don't know what it is, but I kind of feel like I'm running on empty at the channel at the moment. I've not got an awful lot of get up and go when it comes to doing videos just now. If I'm being brutally honest, and I'm never anything else than honest, I'm even finding doing the live streams a bit of a chore. I think for me is I've just got other stuff going on at the moment. I mean, my job has Like, I'm not going to say the job has been taken over, but I don't know. I think sometimes a massive part of YouTube making content is you've got to feel it. You've got to have the enthusiasm, and it makes you want to make content. I think part of my problem that I've got is my daughter stays with me, and she's her bedroom is through the wall from my games room, and she goes to bed. I mean, for a 19-year-old, she does go to bed fairly early. You know, she's maybe sleeping by like 9:30, 10 o'clock. And that's when I used to kind of record videos. That's when I used to make content. I used to have a job. I mean, I'm trying to think. 8 years ago, pretty much just after, well, I just started doing YouTube, and I used to get an hour for lunch, and I used to use that hour for recording content, and you know, that's all changed now. So I don't have the opportunity to make content during the day, and then at night time I'm just conscious that Ava's in her bed, and I'm quite loud when I talk. If you've ever met me in real life, you'll know that I am quite a loud person. It's a thing that runs in the family. My family are all quite loud, so to be heard, you've got to shout above the next person. But yeah, I said to Panther, I don't know, I'm just not feeling it. And he said to me, well, you know what you should do, mate? Take a break. Just come away, step back completely from YouTube, and do it when you can be arsed. The thing is, I do beat myself up when I'm in the house. I'm always thinking, oh, I need to do videos. And now the thing is, if you monetize the channel, I mean, I know I've monetized the channel, but that's, you know, most of my revenue is through adverts, and trust me, it's not very much. It's not even £10 a month that I get. Yeah, one of the big things for me why I wouldn't want to do Patreon, I'm not comfortable taking money from people, but secondly, if you do go down that road, then that's you into a situation where you have to put content out because people are paying you to do it, and that's not something that would sit well with me. I don't want to feel forced into doing it. And even now, although I don't do Patreon, I still have this loyalty that I have to do stuff. I feel like I'm letting people down with not putting content out, and I know that's daft because we've all got lives, etc. But I don't know. So yeah, that's where I am, folks. I think unless I start getting help for giving me stuff to talk about, I think the Friday Waffle is going to have to take a bit of a sabbatical. You know, I know I did. I've spoke about this fairly recently. You know, would people miss the Friday Waffle? And there's, you know, the feedback I got was very positive and encouraging, and it makes me smile when I hear that people do enjoy the waffle. I don't know why, because I seem to spend all my time just complaining about stuff, and like I said, it's really not gaming related. But yeah, it's over to you guys. I mean, if this is going to continue to be a thing, then I do need support. I need you to help me. I mean, as I say, Dale's been doing blogs now for about not even a year, and the amount of questions that he gets every week is phenomenal. So please, I'm not saying you have to please don't stop giving Dale questions or repeating questions, you know, but I can see how much support he gets when it comes to giving him stuff to talk about. And I need that support as well, I really do. So listen, just a quick, hang on, 2 ticks. try and keep this talking about games. A couple of books that I got this from my birthday. I can't even speak properly. For my birthday, Nostalgia Nerds Retrotech. My girlfriend bought it for me. I've not really had a chance to look at it. It's Nostalgia Nerds Retrotech computers, consoles, and games. All the greatest old systems from Atari to Xbox. You know, I was actually thinking a couple of weeks ago about maybe I've got a book in me, possibly. My dad was a plumber to trade, but he wrote books. I mean, I think he had about 2 or 3 published. He's written probably about a dozen books, mainly history. Well, in fact, they're all history, all based on fact. But he always enjoyed that, and I've always thought to myself, I would love to put down my memoirs, you know, put down my life, because you don't get to 55-year-old without having experienced a lot of highs and lows. Whether anybody would be interested in actually listening or reading about that kind of stuff is something completely different, or a different thing altogether. But I'm kind of bored when it comes to computer books. It seems to me that everybody in their auntie are putting them out, and there's very, very few of these books that I've actually looked at and I think to myself, yeah, you know what, that's an interesting book. They're all very factual, they're all just, you know, matter of fact. This is the Spectrum, best games on the Spectrum was Manic Miner by Matthew Smith, blah 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 blah. They're just, we've read it, we know that, and I think that's like, you know, I'm at the point now with my waffle, I've said everything there is to say, and it's the same with books. They've become dull. And I'm thinking to myself, would anybody be interested in just like a snapshot of what it was like as a teenager growing up in the sort of late 70s, early 80s. I mean, I was blessed to have been around at the very, very start of the computer hobby. You know, I existed before computers did, and here I am, you know, some 40 years later, I'm still playing games, I'm still, well, not as many games, but I still own a ridiculous number of games. I talk about them when I can be asked. So I have a lot to say, and maybe you're thinking, well, you've just told me you don't have anything to say. What I maybe need to do is almost like combine what I've said in the last 9 years waffles and pick out the best bits and bring out a book. I don't know, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Just because I put out a Poxy calendar doesn't mean that I'm suddenly going to become J.K. Rowling or whatever. Let me know what you think. I mean, it's one thing sitting here saying I'm going to do something, and then it's something else altogether actually doing it. The problem with me, and you know, and I've just mentioned about how I've not been making videos, it's the time factor. Yeah, I've got other stuff going on. Let me know, what do you think? Should I think about doing a book? I don't know. The thing is, I think sometimes doing books, it's not really, well, I mean, you want to, it's the journey about actually putting the words down on a piece of paper and bringing back memories and what have you. And I suppose if somebody happens to enjoy it, then it's a bonus, you know. But I think a big part of writing a book is doing it for you rather than the reader, whatever. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Anything else gaming related? I've been playing Power Wash Simulator. I mean, that's the extent of my gaming at the moment. I was talking to Holly. Now, if you're a regular to the channel, you'll probably know who Holly is. She's a good friend of the channel, friend of mine's. Holly has very kindly been organising, trying to arranged for a mister for both herself and for me. I think she's got the boards, and she's just waiting on the D10s to come from China, something like that. Because a couple of guys in Discord did put up a link to a mister, and I think it was about 550 quid. You know, when I think back, just about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, it was going to cost 350 quid, and now it's gone up to about 550 quid. It's a shitload of money, it really is. Oh, hang on a sec, I have absolutely... Alexa! Stop! Oh, back in a tick. Alexa! Stop! I've absolutely no idea what happened there. Alexa kicked in. Don't know why it did that. No idea.
Here you go.
What's it doing now? It's just turned my TV on. Get Alexa, turn the TV off. Ah, man.
Okay.
I give up. I absolutely give up. Just a wee minor, tedious, uninteresting bit of not even news. I was watching a YouTube video, and they were going on about how great the Steam Deck is, which it is. I have to say, the Steam Deck is lovely. But what the guy said was it's really made you aware of just how outdated the Nintendo Switch is now. I mean, I think the Nintendo Switch is a lovely machine, but I think it came out, was it 2017? And this guy was saying that there's a lot of more kind of up to date. For Christ's sake, that was a fucking spam caller. Apologies about that, folks. Alright, before I forget, I'll give you a bit of a laugh. I was moaning last week about I've had a pain in my shoulder for about, I don't know, I reckon probably 2 months, and I don't even know how it came about. I mean, I do cook so, and you're getting flung about and all that, so you'd expect, well, you're 55 years old, you're doing a martial art, of course you're going to get injured. But I didn't knowingly hurt myself, and then it was probably about 2 days later after doing cook so, I just noticed this pain in my shoulder, and it gradually got worse. And yeah, it's just been there. I thought to myself, it's going to be one of these things, it's going to disappear after, it'll disappear after a week or so, but it hasn't. And it was getting worse, to the point that, I'm thinking, I need to get to the doctor or whatever. So when I was going like that, I was getting a lot of pain. On last Friday, I was at I was with my daughter in Edinburgh, and we went to the winter market, which is in Princess Street Gardens. And there's one of these fairground rides where you've got this thing with like 4 points in it, and in each point you've got 4 seats that hold like 2 people, and this thing spins around, but then each little bit spins around and you're getting flung upside down, you're all over the place, and it's basically my idea of complete and utter hell. Now she wanted to go on it, and I said, look, can you not go on yourself? No, you need to come on it with me. So being a good dad and all that, I went on this thing with her, and I don't mind admitting it was the longest 2 minutes of my life. Seriously, just awful, absolutely awful. I had my eyes tight shut, and yeah, I took absolutely no pleasure at all. Complete opposite, I would have gladly paid, it was £14 for 2, which is a complete rip-off, but I would gladly have paid £7 to not go on it rather than go on it. Anyway, went on it, came off, felt like shit. I felt sick. I mean, I felt sick for about a day afterwards. But then I noticed shortly after it, maybe about half an hour of coming off it, I noticed very, very, very slight pins and needles in the left-hand side of my left hand. And I'm thinking, Christ, have I taken a stroke or something? I'm thinking, oh my God, that's not good. You know, you never want to have pins and needles in your hand for no reason. And it was like there all day, and then it was there the following morning. I mean, it's now, it's fine, it's gone away. But then I noticed shortly after, I thought, wait a minute, that's no longer agony. And what appears to have happened is getting flung about in this bloody fairground ride thing. It seems to have fixed my sore shoulder. It's still a wee bit there. I can still feel a bit of pain, but nowhere near as bad. So it looks like that this fairground ride has somehow it's obviously moved the muscle, or I reckon it's been a trapped nerve or something, and this has obviously untrapped it. So yeah, happy days. £14 well spent in my book. Excuse me, I'm just going to, I think, I was talking to Dale a couple of weeks ago on the phone, and or last week actually, and he said, oh, you never answered my question on the waffle. And I thought, you never bloody asked me a question, and he did, but I missed it. So I'm going to go back seconds, it's going to be the 25th now. Hopefully Dale's questions are going to be here. Right, wait a minute, why am I not saying, why can't I see Dale's questions? Right, I wonder if they're maybe hidden. Right, I found them, Dale. What had happened, mate, is instead of posting it in the last week's waffle, you posted it in the 18th of November, so that's why I missed them. Excuse me. So let's have a wee look and see what he's saying. Right, Dale's saying here, been thinking a lot recently about things to ask. The future, the past, events, everything really, for not only my blog but also to aid a fellow nice waffler. So here goes. Excuse me. Number one, is there an event in 2023 you're looking forward to? An event. Yeah, I've got probably the big event that I've got. Well, I mean, it's the obvious thing. I'm hopefully going to go on holiday, which I take it you're not meaning, you're not referring to something like a holiday. That's a given. Obviously, looking forward to going away. Iron Maiden, they're touring at long last, so I've got a ticket for Glasgow. Can't remember when it is. Is it June? Can't remember exactly. Other things I've got on, I'm going to be supporting my mate Pete in the West Highland Way race. Now, if you're fairly new to the channel, you won't know that I actually used to be quite fit. I used to be able to run ridiculous distances. It's called being an ultra runner. An ultra is a race more than 26 miles. 26 miles is a marathon, an ultra is anything more than that. And there's a race in Glasgow. It starts in a place called Milngavie and it finishes in Fort William. It's 96 miles along the West Highland Way route. Beautiful, absolutely stunning bit of the world. So this race, it's every June. You've got 35 hours to cover the 96 miles. I've done it, I've completed it 3 times and I pulled out once after about 27 miles. So my mate Pete, this is his first time. Pete's a fantastic runner. He's done tons and tons of ultras. He will absolutely smash it. So he's asked me if I would be in his support team. I mean, I'm not going to... Right now, I can't run for toffee. I've not ran for probably it's probably about a year and a half was the last time I actually ran. I sometimes wonder how I would actually be if I was just to go out and try and run, see how far I get. It's because it's been such a long time. It literally would be literally like starting at the very, very beginning. But you know, I was never a great runner, but I've still got the experience and the knowledge and, you know, of what it's like to do something like that, because it's a life changing experience, and I know Pete's going to have a great time. So I'm lucky that he's asked me to take part in his team. So hopefully we're going to get the kind of the gang back together, and you know, I think this will be my last time being involved in the race. I mean, I've been involved in it since, trying to think, 2012, I think. So that's 10 years I've kind of been involved in the race. So I think next year's probably going to be my last one, I think. But yes, I've got that to look forward to. Video game wise, I'm going to be going down to, I think it's Birmingham again, for Insomnia. Now, I know that's something that this channel actually cures you off. If you're struggling to sleep, watch a waffle. Trust me, you'll be falling asleep in minutes. No, Insomnia is a video games thing down in Birmingham. My daughter and I, we've gone to the last, I don't know, probably 4 or 5. Well, there was none for a couple of years, obviously, during the pandemic. So we've got that. I think it might be April, I think it is. So looking forward to doing that. It's always nice to spend a bit of time with my daughter. And again, I'll probably play Blackpool. I don't mind admitting that I had an absolute blast this year in Blackpool. It's kind of weird because for that whole weekend I had to like immerse myself in video games, you know, getting to speak to all these wonderful people. I was just like, my whole head was around video games, and it's almost like a bit of a kind of come down. You come back to Blackpool, well, not so much Blackpool, you know, because Blackpool is a shithole, and that's official. You come back from one of these gaming events having met lots of wonderful people. Yeah, and I think almost since Blackpool, it's just sort of like, I don't know, you're just like empty, running on empty. Anyway, I'm kind of going off topic again just for a change. So yeah, Blackpool, play Blackpool. I would imagine as long as we don't go into another pandemic or another lockdown, we will be back there next year. Whether I get asked to do the talks, don't know. Need to wait and see. Just on that score, I just want to say to Steve, Steve runs Retro and Lim, just want to say I'm really sorry to hear your news, Steve. Thoughts are with you and your family, mate. You know, I've been there myself, mate. I know how tough things are, so take care, mate. And if you ever want a chat, just pick up the phone and give me a call, mate. But thoughts are with you, buddy. So yeah, play Blackpool. Yeah, quite looking forward to that. Also want to, I've been talking about it, I also want to do another visit to Arcade Club and get a lot of the regulars on the channel, get them down. We had was it this year? Did we have what was it this year? I can't bloody remember. I think we went, yeah, we did go this year. I think it was at the beginning of the year, I can't remember exactly. We had a trip to Arcade Club. Want to do that again. So yeah, that'll be something else to look forward to. So anyway, hopefully there's plenty there, Dale, to keep your answer your question. Excuse me, bugger off YouTube Premium skip trial. Right, number 2. Do you think as YouTubers we reflect back too much? Many say it's unhealthy. A past question for you. We do, absolutely. I mean, my whole video channel, my whole YouTube channel is based on me, on memories. And is it unhealthy? Is it healthy? I think there's a bit of both. I mean, nostalgia is a powerful memory. you know, and I think it's one of these things that the older the memory, the more powerful it becomes. I sound like something like the Jedi. The older we are, the more powerful we will become. Yeah, the older the memory, the nostalgia kicks in, it grows, and you end up sort of like, I think we end up thinking that the memory was wonderful, whereas the reality was probably not quite as good as we tend to remember it to be, if that makes any sense. But you know what? Nah, I mean, life is all about making memories. When you're alive, you're living in the moment, and then within a second, that whatever you have done is a memory. And you know, I think we have to sometimes in life, you know, not sometimes in life all the time, we do have ups and downs. We have good times and bad times. And fortunately, the bad times will only last, they will only be temporary. It's the same with good times as well, they are generally temporary. So I think, I mean, having nostalgia, having memories, thinking back is a lovely thing, because I mean, sometimes it's all we've got. I mean, I don't have a mum and dad anymore, they've both passed away. I miss them like crazy. You wouldn't believe how much I miss my mum and dad. I mean, I've not had my mum since 1998. My dad died in, next year it'll be 10 years that my dad's been dead. So I've been without any parents now for almost 10 years. And trust me, when I see people my age or older and they've got their family, they've got their mum and dad, I'm insanely jealous. I really am. So yeah, in that instance, the only thing I've got is memories. And that's important, because memories, you can, when you go through it in your head, when you replay it in your head, it's like they're back, and that's all I've got. So replay, or sort of memories are a nice thing. Looking back is a nice thing, but it can also be a bad thing, because, and I know a few people, I'm not going to say who it is, but and there's a few people I know in my life who focus solely on the past. They dwell in the past, and it's always the bad things, and they can never ever stop looking behind them. And you know, you need to live for the moment. Life is too short. If you constantly think about the past, you're always going to be unhappy. I remember when my mum passed away, I used to go up to her grave maybe once every couple of days, and I used to cry myself to sleep at night. I missed her terribly. And my dad, I always remember my dad saying to me, he put his arm around me, he says, "Come on, son," he says, your mum wouldn't want you being miserable. You know, your mum loved you to bits. We had a really good relationship, but your mum has passed away now. She's moved on. She's, you know, up in heaven. You need to stop looking behind you and start looking in front of you and start making new memories. And he's absolutely right. You know, so yeah, looking back, I think as YouTubers, Dale, we do look back a lot, and it can be good, it can be bad, but you need to remember, despite at the moment in this life, this in society, it feels like there's nothing to look forward to. We're getting hammered for petrol, we're getting hammered for food, we're getting hammered for the price of energy. We've all been, none of us has been as badly off financially as we are at the moment. I know that, I can categorically say that's where I am. You know, I've never had as little money as I have now, and it's not because I'm earning less money, it's because everything is costing so much more. But there's still loads and loads of good things in the world. It really is. As long as you've got your health, as long as you've got friends, as long as you've got enough money to put food on the table, to keep a roof over your head, then there's tons and tons of good things to look forward to. So yeah, thanks Dale. Number 3, if you could buy one thing or receive one thing from anywhere that you know would cheer you up when down in the dumps and would give you ample of things to talk about, what would it be? This could be a job satisfaction, a new house, a new job, or a material object. Let me read that again. If you could buy one thing or receive one thing from anywhere that you know would cheer you up when you're down in the dumps and would give you ample of things to talk about, what would it be? This could be job satisfaction, a new house. I don't know, Dale. I mean, I would like a new house. Absolutely, I would like a new house. I've been saying that for a couple of years. I think I will at some point move house. Hopefully, in the next couple of years. I'm not in any mad rush to. Excuse me. I don't know. I think I need a holiday. The last time I was abroad, now I know there's lots of people have never been in an aeroplane before. I think, yeah, I've not been abroad since 2014, so I think I do need a holiday. That would be nice, but nah, I mean, yeah, I've mentioned my job in the past, and a job is like anything else. You've got good times, you've got bad times. Every job can be shit, and then it'll get better. You know, you've just got to be patient and let it get better, because it will. Everything is bad in the world or in your life. You know, I'm not talking about something like if you lose your one of your parents, if one of your parents dies, whatever, that's obviously permanent. They're not going to come back again. But it doesn't apply to everything. But most things, whether it's a job, whether it's a relationship, whether it's maybe money or even health possibly, invariably it's going to be temporary. That's the thing about like stress. We all get stressed, and a really, really true fact is 9 times out of 10 when you're worried sick about something, when you're really, really worried stupid about something, whether it's a job, whether it's personal, whatever, 9 times out of 10 I would say the reality is never ever anywhere near as bad as you think it's going to be, you know. But it doesn't stop you worrying. But no, I think a holiday, Dale. I mean, yeah, I would like a mister, but it's not going to make me massively happy. Continuing with my cook soul, that makes me happy. I do like I like trying to stay fit. And yeah, hopefully the YouTube channel will kind of get off the ground again. I do kind of feel like it's kind of stagnated for quite a long time. I'm sure people would agree with that. Oh, there you go. Number 4, is there a destination you would like to go to in 2023 that you want to scrub off your must-do list? No, I mean I would love to move to Canada or New Zealand. I would love to just get up and emigrate. Not interested in Australia or America, but I'd love to move out there. I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. I've got my daughter, and she's not in the place where I could leave her behind. So the chance of me emigrating is probably less than 0, I would say. I don't mind, Dale. You know what? I think somewhere sunny would be nice. I'm not a greedy person. Excuse me. No, just going somewhere nice that's maybe got a bit of touristy stuff to look at. Some decent weather, swimming pool. Nah, I would be happy with that, mate, honestly. I don't really have a bucket list when it comes to places to visit. Number 5, is there a job you thought you would love to do in your younger years that you feel you would still like to do and is achievable? I'm 55, I've got about another 10, 12, 13 years to go. I'm not gonna go changing jobs now. When you're working, it's like being a footballer. You've got a value. Every company, you've got a value of what you can bring to the table, and I'm probably, this sounds arrogant, I'm probably at the top of my game right now. You know, I'm 55. My knowledge and experience in what I do is it's not going to get any better than it is now. So I've got to try and make the most of that. You know, the chances of me leaving this, leaving what I do now and doing something completely different is probably zero. It probably is. What job would I like to have done? I mean, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a vet. I think every kid wants to be a vet when they're really young. I quickly realised that I was neither clever enough or dedicated enough to become a vet. Wouldn't want to do it now. I mean, I would love to, if I was to get my kind of dream job, I would love to be able to, I don't know, I would love to present a TV programme, a video games TV programme, something like Games Master. That would be fantastic because it's my hobby, it's my passion, it's what I can talk about. So yeah, it would be great if the BBC were to come knocking on my door and saying, listen, we're wanting to make a video games programme based on the old systems, not the new stuff. We need some bad-tempered old guy, just like yourself. Do you fancy it? We'll give you $100,000 a year to present this. How do you fancy it? I'd be like, where does sign up? I mean, if money was no object, if I won like the lottery and had stupid amounts of money, I would leave my job, I would pay off my mortgage, I would probably open some sort of video game museum-y type place where people can come and play games. Something a bit like what the Retro Man Cave's got. Something like that. I think that would be really nice. Number 6. Name a cartoon character or game character that you would like to have a pint with and advise why and what you would ask. A cartoon character. Game character. A game character, I don't know. What about a cartoon character? Who would I like to... What's my favourite cartoons? I was never massively into cartoons. I'm trying to think. I'm just looking at number 7. A cartoon character. Oh, bloody hell. I don't know. It would have to be Wile E. Coyote because you never hear him speak. And I think we would have to get our heads together and figure out how to catch that pesky roadrunner. There you go. Right, number 7 from my mum. This is Dale, by the way. When is that Alan going to shave off that beard? Mrs. Dale, I'm not going to shave that beard off. This beard is permanent. You're never ever going to see... If you want to see me without a beard, Mrs. D, then you need to go and look at some waffles from about 5 years ago. This beard is here to stay. Trust me, I've got a weak chin. That hides it. Sorry, Mrs. D, that's not what you're wanting to hear, but anyway. Right, and there you go. I hope some of those were fun and not too difficult. We approach a time of reflection and a time of renewal. I wish good things for next year for you, your family, and our mutual friends who we both appreciate. Excelsior, sir. Thank you very, very much, Dale. You're very kind. You're a good mate, and I always appreciate all the help that you give me and my channel. I mean that sincerely. So, anyway, listen, folks, it's been a bit of a cobbled together waffle. Hopefully I've managed to get about half an hour out of this. I'm going to go and edit it all together and get it uploaded. So, listen, I will, despite everything that I've just said, I am going to be along on Sunday. Depending on how I feel, I might actually do a longer stream because I'm off on Monday. Yeah. So it'll depend. I'll just see how it goes. It's going to be 7 o'clock till 9. If I can be arsed, it might drag on a wee bit longer. No guarantees. Anyway, listen guys, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. As always, thank you very, very much for watching.